this wipe, I really wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to build in the snow against some of the sweatiest clans and players in the Southeast Asian region. This server is 350 pop and full of absolute carnage from start to end of wipe. I really had to pull all the tricks out of the book to survive this one. I'll give you a quick teaser. Alrighty, we're back. Yeah, well, it's erupted already. Hang on.
Think about it for a second. People are sometimes. Dude, it's fresh. Yeah, wait, I'm gonna hit this guy. You know, I'm making 20 rocks to just chuck at you because I don't give a you. How about that? How about that, huh? How about that, you? Oh, ooh, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I can chuck rocks at you all day, bitch. Show out 20 million rocks. Oh, what are you running away? Ooh, wrecked.
This might be an omen for the entire wipe.
What the hell? How much health?
Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted. So, it's actually one of the rare times I'm on at force wipe. My shift work this week allows me to be on. Server's about 2 minutes old. I think we'll head inland, probably try get a couple starters down in the snow, and see how the area evolves over wipe day. If you like prim footage, you're probably going to get a lot of it because I'm going to be an absolute pest. A horse. What are the odds? I think the Rust gods have big things planned for this wipe. Thanks for the compliment. Don't get the chance to use the bow this much. I'm never really on this early. My inventory's pretty much full. I ended up dying to the cold at night. I had to put my stuff in that little wooden base over there, but we still got it all. I'll put the, what might be a main base, might not. We're going to put a few of these around, but we'll start here for now. The plan for me was to get as many of these little starters down as I possibly could. This area's landscape was going to completely change, and it was important I had a backup plan. I was going to continue to run around and bow rat the server because why farm for myself when I can have other people do it for me? Everywhere I look, there's someone. He's a part of a clan. Where's his friends? I have a feeling that they might be that dude's clanmates. They've been looking for me. this place might start to become more of a nightmare than I originally thought. We're gonna have to be smart this wipe, I think. I'm gonna keep going out though, picking people off, but we're gonna have to think about long term. Maybe night vision. I think night vision will do the trick. Hello? He's got a gun? What? He's gonna try and raid me. How does he have satchels already? Oh. That guy's got some balls on him. Props to him. That's, I respect that. It was starting to become clear to me how much of a nightmare it was going to be living in this area. I needed to reach into my bag of tricks and come up with a plan. I was going to get night vision goggles to make use of the sewer branch and the airfield at night, but for that to happen, I needed scrap. I put a 1x1 down on the edge of outpost and started hunting all of the farmers.
Break of dawn, life, can go by the letter. Time, Prozac can make it better. Noise, any kind will do. Can you feel it slip away when it's all on you? Crime, rockin' like Janet Reno. Time, 18 and like Pacino. Freud, all along it's true. Well, you see it coming, day catches up to you. Knock down the walls. It's alive. Knock down the place, go alone and through. Knock down the world, it's alive in you. You're gonna keep your head through it all. You're gonna bust out on it.
Original prankster.
Breaker, yeah.
Original, yeah.
Bust out on it.
Original
You
prankster.
never stop now. That's what the man say. You can do it. You know it smells like shit. Goddamn. Tag team the double header. Son of Sam. Fire always makes it better. Navigate with style and the plum. 'Cause wherever you're at, that's the tip use on. Lies. Says he's done enough for Hummers. Tries. Banging little hoochie mamas. No way. None of this is true. Well, I seen it coming day when the joke's on you. Knock down the wall. It's alive in you. Knock down the place. You're alone and through. Knock down the world. It's alive in you. You're gonna keep your head through it all. You're gonna bust out on it.
Original prankster.
Breaker, yeah.
Original, yeah.
Bust out on it.
Original prankster.
Stop now. That's what the man say. You can do it. Time, so good to see ya. 9, don't wanna be ya. Time, so good to see ya.
I'd made a lot of progress on the tier 2 tech tree. With the quick respawn times with the population on this server, any naked I killed pretty much had scrap on him. I still wanted to feel out a good spot to put a main base down, and I'd also progressed far enough to get my night vision. I went out with my night vision and my SAR to get a bit better lay of the lands. I actually wanted to build something a bit different this wipe. I'd been working on a unique car base that was actually somewhat of a main base hybrid. The problem was though, any base bigger than a 2x1 got raided pretty much instantly, and I was possibly going to find that out the hard way. I'm pretty sure I've seen someone run past that window. was never just one. I'm not too sure how much I'll add in the actual main video, but I'd put a few of these 2x1 pixel gaps down in and around these rocks. I think I'm gonna need them. One of the very important monuments for me this wipe's going to be Sewer Branch. It's pretty much my only close recycler, but I'm a bit concerned about how hard it's going to be to use. There's like some pretty big bases around here. Case in point. This is what I'm talking about. I can't stop hearing AKs, so like, I'm pretty much gonna have to operate at night time. I think this is gonna be challenging. I'm interested to see how I can actually freaking string a wipe together. Problems. I don't even know how I managed to get away with that. Like, yeah. It's gonna be fun. Might go check airfield out while I let that die down. Oh, it's him. He's from that massive clan. I'm definitely on their bad list already. I need a bit of farm. What I have planned next. Oh. What have I signed myself up for? The place where I'd put my first base was just turning into absolute chaos, to the point where I was using wildlife to take care of the problem. When the sun went down, I ran over to the edge of airfield to put my 5th base down. The plan was to run Sewer Branch for the blue card, take the blue card and run airfield and do it all at night with night vision. And once I had enough resources farmed up, I'd put this car base down. Now I didn't quite know it yet at this point, but I would end up attempting some of the biggest solo raids I've done in all of my video making, and all of these raids are launched from this car base. I was going to do one more airfield run and try put this base down, but been a bit distracted. Just done it. Well, I'm going to come back at night and do it again, and then I'm going to put this car base down, I reckon. This will probably be like this and one more run. I reckon I have the scrap to tech tree all the car stuff I need. That ain't a sign, I don't know what is. He had a car lift on him. Yay, wasn't being ladder camped. Well, I'm going to go depot this, and I pretty much have what I need, so I'm going to put this car base down, and then we'll probably look at trying to do some cheeky raids. There's a lot of farm bases out here, and I reckon I can raid on a low profile at night and not be detected. I have a lot of pixel gap bunkers as well, so I can hide my boom. Alright, the car base is going out in that field. I don't quite know how to explain it, but it's a triangle octagon with 3 square garages going off each side with a ring main between the doors. I know that probably makes no sense. I'll try and show a bit of it for you. It will have a shooting floor. Probably won't be the best thing to defend on lines, but I want to live a low profile this wipe, so yeah. I reckon that's the plan. Get a car base down, start looking at some raids. I grabbed all the supplies I had in one of my pixel gap bases, headed over and started to set up this car base. But you're about to see why living where I had decided to build was an absolute nightmare. Well, the very basic core's done now. Essentially you'll go out that door and there'll be 2x1s on each corner with a ring main. It'll make more sense as the video progresses. I could probably try and draw a picture in paint for you, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go get the rest of the stuff I need to build this. Typical. Well, I went AFK, had some lunch. It's been a good 15 to 20 minutes. It's now dark. I'm going to run the rest of this loot over. I'd be surprised if he's still there, but it's rushed. You never know. There is no way he's still sitting in my airlock. What? Well, I'll put this loot away and I'll go try and deal with him. Oh, it's inconvenient. Well, I wonder what that sound could be. I literally don't have any of my SARs with me. They're in my other base, 4 squares away. I have to try and do something with a revolver and a med. You're kidding me. Oh, just love it. Alright, so I waited till the next night cycle, ran my loot over. We've sealed it now and I'm doing the second shooting floor. I have to go out for a bit today because I'm a human and I have things I have to do. But we'll be back and we're going to start looking at trying to get some cheeky raids on some of these clan farm bases. So I've come back and I've noticed both my pixel gap beds are gone. They've been raided, but take note solos, this is why I use pixel gap bunkers, because they got nothing. Yep, it's all still here. I pretty much build pixel gaps into everything I own, so yeah, valuable. Nice trick. I'd YouTube how to do it if you're a bit new to Rust. This was just an insight into how chaotic this area was. I'd been gone for 6 hours and had 3 of my bases raided, but luckily 2 that were raided were pixel gap bunkers, and people just seemed to never know their pixel gaps. I had all my loot, and I still had my tier 3 workbench. I did a bit of tech treeing down to C4, waited for the sun to go down, and got up to no good. The next few night cycles, I would just sit around and try and raid farm bases in the hope that I would hit the jackpot. I likely didn't break even on sulfur, but I did break even on things that I needed. I had more jackhammers than I knew what to do with at this point. Everyone around me was literally being raided by this huge Chinese clan called .337. I actually raided one of their farm bases in the earlier clip. My strategy going forward though was to only raid at night using C4 and to use my new car base as a lightning rod for raids. I hid all my loot in pixel gap bunkers, and that way I could stay undetected and I would not lose much in the event of a big raid. I'd logged out and took a break and had my pixel gap raided again, and they still didn't figure out it was a pixel gap. There was so much activity going on around me and people thought they could walk over me. It was time for me to start fighting back. I didn't care if I got raided or not because there was nothing in my main base. What is going on? What? I don't even know. Some people just make terrible decisions. Well, that was bad. I honestly don't know what this guy expected. Lands a heli next to me, shoots me while I'm cutting a tree. Like, you've just lost your heli. Like, some people in Rust, they just... I don't really have any use for it right now and I can't stash it, so I'm just going to go land it on airfield roof. It'll probably last a while. No one really ever checks up there. All that matters is he doesn't get it. I'm going to go liquidate some of my stuff at Outpost, go for a quick recycle. I do want to start getting the rocket BP because I want to try them in a bit, so we'll go do that I think. So doing those little C4 raids, I actually managed to get a fair few comps, but normally at this point in the wipe I've been pummeled by a giant ZERG, but it hasn't happened, so I think we may actually have to take the fight to them. I can actually farm peacefully at night and there's a lot of sulfur, so I reckon as we progress a little bit more I'm going to start hoarding sulfur and stockpiling rockets. I'm going to try and get 100 and something rockets, and we'll try and drop them on big bases a bit later on. I'm being followed by a guy on a horse from all of Outpost, like he's just been chasing me down the road.
Run it over, run it over, run it over.
I'm gonna run that freaking horse over if it's the last thing I do. That was close.
I didn't know it was
Don't mess with my car, I'll run your freaking horse over. Alrighty, I've got some loot from one stash base and a bit of recycling. I'm going to quickly do a trip to my second stash base and bring some more loot back here because we'll look at doing some big raids soon. I just need a bit more tech treeing for rockets and we're good to go. Whoa! Fuck! Just got the crap scared out of me. Oh, I'm stuck on something. It's not looking good. I have no idea where that rocket came from. Just in the middle of nowhere, like, I don't think we can get that stash base anytime soon. I'll probably have to come back at night with night vision, but yeah. For now, we tried at least. The place I was living in was an absolute nightmare. I would die to random stuff all the time, and pretty much everyone's base in this area was getting raided at least once a day. I mentioned earlier though that I was trying to get on the bad side of some clans to get a bit of action, but none of these clans wanted anything to do with my base, which was mostly completed now. They probably just didn't think it was worth it because it looked weird. I decided I wanted to take the fight to the smaller groups in my area, the 4 to 6 man range. I was going to farm up a lot of rockets and go and see if I could raid some of their bases. I did get a bit distracted though before all that could happen, because the massive Chinese ZERG was raiding another big ZERG across the hill from me. I went over to pay it a visit and actually come out with some goods. I hear 4 Rocketeers. When raids are this big, they always leave stuff behind or they make mistakes. And with the new despawn times, things sit in bases for a long time, so I think I can get some scraps. They're onto me already. I got stuck earlier and these guys have externals so they can't seal. I bet you there's loot up there. I'll lay low so I can get in there and grab it all. They're actually raiding the guy next door. They're just on a spree at the moment. That's what they've been doing the whole wipe. This is what I mean, the stuff's like crumbs to them. Oh my god. Oh, look at them all down there. There must be like 2 boxes of guns on the floor in here. If I could pick it all up, I can sell it for sulfur in vending machines. I'll go depot this inventory before the other grubs show up. I'll come back and like jackhammer out that box or break it and grab all the other guns down below it. This is how you survive out there on these 350 pop servers. You live off the droppings of these clan raids. I had somehow managed to sneak into 337's raid before any other grubs got in there. I was able to pick about 2 boxes of guns up off the ground, and with the sale price on this server, it was about 15k worth of sulfur if I sold it in a vending machine, which I was going to need because I needed a lot of rockets. Once again though, this area was just chaos. There was raids 24/7, non-stop. It was a matter of time until they come and hit my base, but luckily I was playing it smart and had none of my loot in my main base at all. I did actually hear a raid next to me though, and it sounded like one I might actually be capable of countering. So I headed over in the hopes to counter this raid. It's like a new little ZERG going down to the right. If I can get in there and seal that before they show up, I think I'm all good. I might just run this while I have the chance and come back maybe. Yeah, I think that's the plan. The bunker on the other side is still sealed. The only way through is through that roof. I've just sealed the entire thing, shut open the bunker, but just sealed the wall upstairs, like, so I can break it later and get out and put a door on. Like, unless he's got enough to go through HQM, this is my base. I'm just going to leave it here and come back and get it later. Just waited for him to go away, chuck 3 doors on, problem solved. Already ran most of the loot earlier. Luckily I did, because if he did get in, I would have lost it all, but yeah. That small raid counter was actually quite fruitful. That scrap I got was all I needed to get to rockets on the tech tree, and there was a lot of low grade that helped with explosives. There was a new Asian ZERG in town though, and I ended up killing one of their clan farmers at my front door just before I was about to go to sleep. I knew 1000% I was getting offline tonight. Take note, solos. This is how you bait ZERGs into using 35 rockets, and all they get is a box of charcoal at best. It's funny. I'm gonna go see what damage they've done. Ooh, through the side, and then they've gone through some garage doors. Yeah, that's funny. Actually, the garage doors to the right too is where I stashed some of the loot. So I actually don't think they got a thing other than the TC. Wow, they full raid based and everything. Because I probably won't build this base for a long time, if ever again. I will show you some of my little stash tricks. Yeah, I don't think they got any of it. Yes, a access to the base that does nothing. There's been no loot in here. Let's go check the other stuff. I get an unhealthy level of satisfaction out of doing this stuff. Every wipe it works, so just no one knows. And I move it and change it every wipe so it's completely unpredictable. They didn't even get the charcoal, like the one room that had loot in it which was charcoal, they didn't get it. Oh, you'd probably be like, why is he laughing so weirdly? It's just, I don't know, there's just something about this. It just makes me happy. Another trick I like to do is raid bases near me and then move loot in them. No one ever touches them. This base here will probably last for like the whole wipe. And that's the thing that makes it unpredictable. People don't know to look in them. They just look raided. I can do it every wipe, but no one knows. I'd been offline as predicted, and these guys got absolutely nothing off me except for about 8 hours of TC upkeep. I'd successfully hid my loot from them, and I still had some orties and a jackhammer. I spent the next fair few hours getting some rockets together because I was going to go suss out my first raid. Now, you're welcome to call me stupid, but I think this might be possible. So this guy was shooting at me earlier when I was farming. So there's 2 online. They don't have auto turrets. It will take me a little bit to get everything together, like an hour. But if I come back, whether they're online or not, it's still going to be a nightmare because I think the second a rocket hits the wall, like everyone's going to show up. But I think we just send it, to be honest. Let's just do it. Alright, I have all the material on me for the raid base and I put all of the explosives in the car. So I drive over, put the raid base down, and then move the car into safety. There's probably like 30 seconds of vulnerability when I get the raid base down, but if I get the raid base down with the turrets on, I think I'll be fine. I haven't checked if they're online yet, but I did get killed by some AK guys just earlier, like 5 minutes ago when I was running back. Yeah, so it's probably going to be hectic and I honestly don't know how it's going to go, so yeah, wish me luck. Alright, I probably won't be doing much talking because I kind of need to concentrate, but let's go, let's do it. That raid was actually quite intense. The clan didn't come over to counter, but a lot of Hazzies did. I wasn't sure if that naked in the base was the guy online or not, but there was no fight from the shooting floor, so I don't actually know. I went back to my old tricks and stashed all of my loot in my secret bases, put the guns into the vending machine so I could get more rockets for another raid. I did a little bit of farming myself, and also, the ZERG was out raiding again. I wanted to go over and see what they were up to before I started my next big raid. I must say as well, it ends quite spectacularly, so you might want to sit around for the end of it.
Hey, man.
I've played too much Rust to respond to, "Hey man." Who wants to place bets on whether he's as nice as what he seems? I'm just running into my base because I know he's going to shotgun me and then I'll just get on the roof and shoot him with the AK, but Rust. Some people, like, they just don't make good decisions in this game. Like, I'm no saint, I make bad ones myself, but some of the stuff I've seen this wipe is just like, what are you thinking? I'm gonna go do a quick recycle and smash sulfur on the way there, and then I reckon we'll go for a lap and see who's the next raid target. Now, every time I've come here this wipe, there's always someone here, but we'll see. I heard, like, I think I'm being followed. I think they sit in that little base with the window upstairs and they just watch whoever goes down the hole and they follow them. Just gonna depot this, probably grab an AK kit out and we'll go for a bit of a roam and try, you know, get a bit more sulfur and kill some people. Come upstairs to see who this grub is and I've caught some dude farming up on the hill. Oh, Jesus, that was like his last note as well. Nice, not bad. Can you hear him, the grubs? They're like everywhere. I'd been tying off a few loose ends with recycling, getting more sulfur, and I was sitting on quite a pile of rockets. There was a mule base that didn't look like the hardest raid sitting right next to the Chinese ZERG. I went over there to raid it, thinking I was going to poke a hornet's nest, but the complete opposite happens. It was a nice warm-up for when I did actually poke the hornet's nest. So this base has vending machines on the side and it sells like odd farming products. In that back right hand corner, there's the Chinese ZERG. This guy's been protected by them for a long time, so I'll be interested to see what's in this base. That's a big enough hole. Heard a guy here earlier, if this nade hits, you can report me, it's justified. Kobe! Then we got a few rats just taking pot shots. Haven't seen the ZERG yet. Now or never, and I think I can hear the ZERG in the background. Hear those rockets? It's probably why no one's here. Wow, listen to it. Yeah, I think I've picked the wrong time to blow into this base. I kind of wanted some more action, but I can hear like 7 Rocketeers in the distance raiding the other Zerg. This was not worth it at all. But you don't know till you blow in, do you? Oh. That's the loot. It's not amazing. It could have been worse, honestly. I have a feeling, though, when I go to do my next raid and the Zerg isn't off pummeling another Zerg, things might get heated. That raid was the complete opposite of what I thought it was going to be. That base had been sitting on the edge of that ice lake for days now, and it was under the protection of the Chinese Zerg. I'm pretty sure it was a friend or some farm mule for them. I went over there pummeling it, expecting the whole Chinese Zerg to roll up, but literally nothing happened with the exception of a couple small kills. I was not satisfied with the outcome of that. I farmed up a few more rockets and went and hit a base I knew would have a whole bunch of people come running over. Well, the Zerg's home again, so I expect, yeah, this to be tough. I'll be honest, I didn't actually think that I would make it this far into the wipe, but I had to pull all of the tricks out of the books to make it this far. Night vision, pixel gap bases, stash bases, you name it, I had to do it. Ironically as well, I didn't expect the wipe to end like this. I thought I'd be pummeled more times than I could possibly count. You're probably wondering, is he upset he lost those rockets at the end? I really am not. I try to push the limits of what solos can do on these types of servers, and to find that limit, I need to experiment. Sometimes they work, sometimes they backfire. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in a month's time at next Force Swipe. Peace.